What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another podcast episode of Leaders Create Leaders. Also live streaming here, and we have a special guest today. So I'm gonna let you all get tuned in. What's going on, Mo? Good to see you. What's happening, everybody? I hope everybody is having an amazing week. It is April 30th, the last day of the month here in April. Shout out to all my entrepreneurs that are reflecting back on April and getting their goals set for a new month. Obviously, this is a unique time being in quarantine, and I'm excited to go into a new month, and just continue to elevate, continue to set new goals and put positive energy out there into my business, work with my team. So a lot of new exciting things coming for Leaders Create Leaders in the upcoming month. But for today, for right now, I have a really special guest that'll be joining us here shortly. Elena Cardone, the wife of Grant Cardone, who was on my show, Leaders Create Leaders. I went and visited and did a whole episode going through his entire office and looking into his empire. And now we're going to be speaking to the queen herself about building empires. So I'm really excited to bring her on here. It's going to be about 30 minutes. Nice. Elena's in here, so we'll bring her on and get this started. Hey, yo, what's up, Elena? How
Hi,
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. It's such an honor to finally connect with you. I have honored you from afar for a very, very long time. I just started looking at all the different content and everything you're doing. One of my clients, Veronica, was always talking about you. I think she said she has worked with you with one of your dress for 10X, and then also Shay Rowbottom was in a mastermind, and she was talking about working and collaborating with you. And obviously Grant was on my show, so I went and visited him. We were supposed to do dinner one night, but it never happened. But I'm just so honored to finally connect with you. Thanks for taking some time today.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to be in your live. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Please welcome Elena. Definitely give us some hearts. Definitely just comment any questions that you may have, and we're gonna kind of dive in to all things building empires. I'm really excited, Elena, to talk to you because I don't think I've ever had an opportunity to really speak to a queen like you that has worked with a king like Grant. And you've done it, and you're continuing to do it. You're really not only building your own empire in regards to your own family and the legacy that you are leaving behind with Grant and your kids, but you really genuinely care about helping others and giving them the strategy and the path for them to create empires in their life. And I think it's just really commendable because I'm sure you're super busy building your own empire. So I know what it's like to it's one thing to really be able to focus on your empire, but it's another when you take the approach of now opening it up and sharing and giving people a path to doing it themselves and really, not just creating success for your own life, but helping others to find that success in theirs. So I think it's really, really special that you're doing that. And I honor you. Thank you for doing that and writing a book and creating your show, Woman in Power, and now launching the Empire Elite University, which I'm excited about.
Well, that was a beautiful acknowledgement. Thank you for understanding what it takes to put yourself out there in that way. So I appreciate and really value that acknowledgement. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I kind of wanted to start with what does building an empire mean to you?
Well, I came up with this book idea because the whole concept of an empire is setting a moral code, your purposes, your standards that align in such a way that give you the opportunity to expand on massive levels, which I've found is the only key to being able to survive during times, especially like right now. Certainly, empires are what makes you strong enough to be able to survive an economic collapse or someone in your family getting sick or all of the unpredicted measures that come in that if you are normal and just barely surviving, it's going to be a lot harder, and you do run the risk of losing everything. But so I wrote the idea and the concepts of empire to get people thinking big enough, to be thinking abundantly enough, because that is what survival is. It's abundance of
Woo.
something. It's abundance of courage, integrity, strength, honor, wealth, assets, people. Those are the types of things that are going to ensure your survival.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Can you take me back? So I know you've been married to Grant for 16 years now. Congrats. That's a goal of
15.
mine. Is it 15?
We've been married for 15, but we've been together 16. So sometimes I
Okay, got
accidentally
it.
say I've
Got
been
it.
married 16, but that's here nor there.
So when did this, when did you decide in your life that you were going to have a life full of abundance? And what did you go through? Was there a shift? What was the shift that happened in your life that changed you from maybe having a certain mindset to then knowing that you were going to have this abundance in your life and deciding that that was what you wanted and that's what you were going to go and get?
Well, my first entrepreneurial woman or entrepreneurial person came from 2008. It came from the economic collapse. Prior to that, I was an artist, I was an actress in Los Angeles. I had a very different mindset. I had a mindset that I had to be a very independent, strong woman, never depend on a man, never depend on anyone,
Right.
really. I had to do everything myself. And so in 2008, when we were on the verge of losing everything,
Yeah.
and I was pregnant with our first child, was when I really had the realization that I had an opportunity to trade in my acting career, which was nil. I was pregnant.
Well, yeah.
Not that that's an excuse, but it's hard to find work in Hollywood as a pregnant actress, especially when I played a specific type of role. So I had an opportunity to trade in. I had an opportunity to put all my chips on one dude. It was terrifying. It took a lot of courage, something I'm very proud of now. But it took a lot of courage to confront being called a gold digger, a sellout. I was worried women everywhere were going to hate me for supporting a man and becoming some subservient woman. I had to deal with a lot of demons in my head. All the voices that said how stupid I was going to be. He's going to leave me for someone younger. I mean, things that I don't think guys really think about. These are like women's situations.
Yeah.
But in 2008, I did have the courage and I did have a vision. I've always accredited myself with being a visionary, and I did have a vision. What is a vision? A vision is a plan for the future based on wisdom and imagination.
Yeah.
And I saw the vision of the future, even though in that moment of time it was non-existent. And I was willing to make that risk and put my bet on a guy and have to depend on a man for the risk of it not working. However, it did work. And we were able to create.
Oh, we just lost Elena. Hopefully she'll come back, guys. But I love how transparent she's being. Ashley, good to see you here. What's going on, everybody? Definitely comment some of your questions. You can use that little box with the question mark, and you can enter in your question. I can pull it up soon. But we're going to talk about this because she really has found her role within the family. She calls it the Chief Family Officer. So I want to kind of dive into how she found her role and really teamed up with Grant. And let's see if something happened. Hopefully she's back. She's back. Okay, cool. Let's get her back on here. Oh, there we go. Sweet.
Oh, so yeah, okay, I heard you. I'm sorry, I don't know why I clicked out.
No, it's all good.
I wanted to say, just to wrap up the last communication,
Yes,
was that ironically, the whole irony to all of this now is I actually found my true strength, power, independence as a woman through a man, which was the last place I thought I would ever find it. But in being married to Grant, with all of the challenges that he's presented and who I've had to rise up and figure out as myself, as a woman, has really got me to the forefront of being able to now say, especially to women out there who might also be being confused by thinking you have to be this independent woman. The thing that I think is awesome about guys is guys aren't having that conversation. They're not running around trying to be independent. They're just themselves.
Mm.
And they're not willing to get help from somebody in order to make their dreams come true. And women are cutting their noses off to spite their face by trying to be having to do it all, when the irony of it is the more you can include other people in your empire, the bigger you grow and the more power you attain. What is power? Power is only the ability and the capacity to influence the behavior of others. So anyway, you were talking about chief family officer.
Yeah, yeah, you have fallen off because I've never heard anybody, come up with that concept. And, I just admire the fact you had to take care of the family. Like, you have two beautiful daughters. I know you talk about the sacrifice phase. I've heard you mention that before in the past. So I kind of wanted you to just talk about, was that a role that you had decided you were going to take on? Or was that a decision where you sat with Grant and decided, what are the roles we're going to play here to build our empire together as a team?
Well, sacrifice phase is completely separate from that.
Okay.
Sacrifice phase was what happened to us in 2008 when we had to go through sacrifice phase, where we were not at the capacity, or we didn't have the ability to take care of anybody else because we were just trying to survive ourselves. We could only take care of ourselves. So we had to go to sacrifice phase, and sacrifice phase is bringing yourself to zero, like financially, not literally, but in your mind at least, that everything goes to zero. Like, you have to go and hustle and work and be ethical and disciplined to rebuild the coffers financially. It also means economically, like not spending money on anything. That's sacrifice phase. We did not spend money on anything unless it could help us to produce revenue. So self-enhancement, self-education, any courses or mentorship, that was all okay. But any luxurious items or spending, or even going out to dinner, vacations, all of that was off the table for a long time, 8-10 years.
Wow. So that's like, you're a real ride or die, like a real ride or die. I love that. That's pretty powerful. So then how did the roles come about? Like,
okay. So
how do you find that dynamic?
Well, the roles came about because, again, no one gave me a manual or an instruction book of marriage when we got married. And so for the first 4 years of our marriage, I didn't realize this, but yes, I was still operating as this independent woman, and I was very male-female oriented. And so we spent the first 4 years vying for power in the relationship and who got to do what. And I didn't want him to boss me, and I wouldn't even make him a meal because how dare he think that that's all I was going to be. Like, I had a lot to work out with that. When 2008 came and I had the idea for the empire, and I said, I'm going to do everything I can to support you and us, so we never have to depend on an economy for our survival or freedom again, financial freedom. That's when the roles came into play. I said, we have to figure out, because we are both extremely powerful, we are strong, we are independent. We have to figure out who gets to be the boss of what role and what division, so we stop attacking each other.
Right.
And so we could start working together as a unit to get each other to heighten success. That's what I'm interested in now. That's the only reason I'm willing to be transparent, is to help other people reach heightened success in a faster manner than it took us. And that was one thing when we figured out what our roles are, which has nothing to do with male, female, and it has everything to do with the strengths and the weaknesses. Be honest and real with what are his strengths, what are his weaknesses, what are mine, and how do we come together and rule our domains? How do we also come together and divide and conquer so we can each achieve our goals, and our main goal as a couple to reach heightened success? And when we got on that same page is when we went like into the upper stratospheres really fast.
Wow.
I mean, it still took time. It took years, but I mean, we fast tracked it by working together on a coordinated effort, rather than constantly be fighting each other. There's enough enemies out there that you need to be strong at home and fortified and put your attention on them, not your partner. Your partner is not your enemy.
How did you build the communication there, the conscious communication to like on a weekly, daily basis, whenever there were hurdles, or, you know, like, did you talk about the goals? Like, did you treat the family similar to a business, right? Like, I have quarterly meetings, I have meetings with my team, you know, we set goals, we got milestones. Like, do you do that with the family as well?
Yes. We do the G&E show, and we call it the business of marriage. And I think one of the reasons our relationship is as strong and powerful as it is because we do treat it as not only as a business, but like as a business with respect to each other. Just like you would in business, you would pay attention to your clients, customer service. You have to do that to your partner as well. You have to pay them attention or reignite their interest. You can't just be married and say, it's okay, it's going to keep itself up and running. It's a created endeavor. And so it needs a create and constant attention, just like a business does. And so, yeah, we've incorporated the family into the mix. I thought my daughter was in the room. Oh, she is. But yeah, so they're members of Team Cardone too. They understand our mission.
Wow.
We're trying to help people.
I see that.
What are their roles? Like, their role when we're not able to be with them, or if we have to be out on the road and they're not, can be there with us, their role is to protect the fort and guard the fort. It's their job to be okay while we're gone, so our attention can be focused out there and not at home. And they realize that they are actually contributing members of the family and helping other people by doing that for us. So, and that's just one example. There's many examples. I mean, now we're at a place in our lives where last year we went on the global world tour. We were in 19 countries last year. They're homeschooled. They were with us everywhere we went. When we do a tour, they're out there passing out 10X flags. They're dancing on stage before the event. They're meeting people. They're thanking them. They're Team Cardone. They're participating, and I'm really proud of them. They're really amazing kids.
I love it. I love it. So let's talk about your movement, because you're chief family officer, building the empire, the Cardone empire, but you also have your own, you have the 10X movement, but you also have this new movement that I've been seeing with 10X women and, you know, going after powerful women and building the empire elite. And so I kind of want to know, and you just had a huge event. So that I saw Shay was a partner in that. So just talk to me about, like, what's the intention with your movement now?
Okay, so the intention of 10X Ladies is really the entire purpose of that has material that, if in the proper hands, can actually change. It is so powerful. It has the ability to influence the behavior of others for the better, and other families can become financially free or stable or better, in a better condition. And my husband has multiple programs. We do Cardone Capital. We give people opportunities to invest in our multifamily. We have Cardone Ventures, which we partner with other businesses. My point is, we have 15, 16 other businesses that we do. Grant is on the stage speaking his platform. And I also recognize that there are women out there that will not gravitate toward Grant because of his delivery or his demeanor or whatever. And they might gravitate to me, being a woman, someone that they could relate to easier, or in the manner in which I speak or whatever, I can be havable to an audience that does not or would not have found Grant. So the whole purpose of 10X Ladies is to really expose women to everything Cardone, not just me, but everything under the Cardone umbrella. They can come in through me and have access to that material, so they can go back to their families and communities and make a difference and help become better through that. So that's what 10X Ladies is all about.
I love it. I love it. All my ladies, you got to make sure to go to AtlantaCardone.com/empires.
If you want the free book, yes.
Yeah.
If you want to go on my 10X Ladies networking call, it's a free networking call I do every Wednesday. You would go to 10xladies.com/network.
Got it. Okay, great.
And that's a free Zoom call I do for women right now so that we can kind of navigate these tough times together and figure out how to become more powerful on the other side of this.
So I'm gonna take I'm gonna take a couple questions. If you have a question, comment it. We have about 8 more minutes, and then I'm gonna let Atlanta get back to building her empire with Grant. Shout out to Grant. Grant, bro, good to see you. I'm still just
I'm
so
writing
thankful.
a book. You would be letting me get back to my kids and to writing my book. I'm writing a book for men right now.
Oh my God, I need that.
I'm writing a book for all the good men out there like yourself that are interested in finding a 10X woman, having a 10X relationship that's really geared toward helping each other reach heightened success together as a couple, and how you can find her, keep her, get on the same page, and achieve those levels of success together. And that's the whole purpose of the book.
I love it. I mean, so I want to ask you, you and Grant obviously have an extraordinary life, all over the world. So what are some of the piece of advice that you would give to someone who wants to create an extraordinary life?
You got to make the decision to have an extraordinary life, and then figure out what your purpose is, how you can exchange your product or your services, like what it is that you have to offer that's going to help you receive that exchange, and be willing to do the work, be willing to take that responsibility and be disciplined enough to have your ethics in and to go after your goals in face of haters or obstacles, but have the audacity to go for your potential and to go for your dreams and just do it. Stop depriving the world of your greatness.
Yes, I love it. So obviously, Grant, a lot of us were alphas, we're hunters, and I love the way that you do challenge him though. You push him to go out and hunt even more, but you've also challenged him to go out, become a billionaire, build a multi-billion-dollar empire, which you've been doing, which is super, super amazing. So how do what's that harmony? We have a question here that's about how do you keep harmony being that close together? And I would add to it, like, while still challenging him to go out there and do what he's best at.
Well, I mean, we're so aligned on our goals, and we work, like the person is saying, we work so closely together, and we understand how we work together so well that we are pretty harmonious at this time. And it's also understanding that love is created. It isn't made by holding hands, watching Netflix, proving that we love each other by turning our social media off. But we understand that love is created by helping each other achieve our goals. And so we make an effort to help one another achieve our goals. And those are our wins. And that makes us fall more in love. And of course, there's intimacy and romance and all of that stuff that obviously we're not going to have the cameras on for. But that's all very important too. I mean, that's a big part of it. It's like, that's the only person that you share that aspect of your life with. So it can't be ignored.
Right. I love that. So I know Grant asked this, and we had a couple of people asking it. So what makes Grant a great husband?
He does what I tell him. No. He's a work in progress. He's a work in progress. It probably doesn't come as easily to him as it does for me, being a woman and taking that responsibility for leading the family. So my point is there's room for improvement, but what makes him an incredible husband is how much he loves, honors, protects his wife, his children. He's always been extremely ethical in every aspect of the word. He has always over delivered in abundance what he has promised. He's ethically ambitious, and you know, and you can see how much he loves his family and honors and respects us as being the most valuable thing in his life.
Wow, I love that. You know, I think that's definitely how I define success in my life. It starts with family, you know, and being a protector of that family and building a legacy with that family. So I honor you, Grant. I honor you, Elena. One last question I would have is, you know, what advice do you give? I know my girlfriend's on this live as well, but what advice would you give to all the women, ladies, boss babes out there right now that are also dating an alpha, that are out there that are hunters like Grant? What advice would you have for them right now?
Well, the advice, tie them down. No. You know, it's figuring out, again, who does what, how y'all can divide and conquer, how y'all can include each other in the big couples goal. Not trying to stop anyone from fulfilling their goals. Really look at if you are doing that or not, because it's very dangerous to want to stop someone from achieving their goals, because if they do quit or stop trying to go for their goals, if someone can give up on themselves, they will give up on you and the kids and their community. So as a woman, it is really important to encourage, inspire, motivate, push a man, but also man for a woman. But you asked me to direct it to women.
Right.
But to push your man to fulfill his mission as a man and as a human being by achieving his goals. And in your support in doing that, he's going to want to be with you more, want to love you more, want to include you more, and will ultimately love you more.
Wow. And what about on the flip side? What about for us men that are out there, right? Like I date also my woman who's a hustler. She's a CEO. She's a, you know, she works, she's building her brand. Like, what advice do you give for the men out there in supporting their lady and their ambition, and also making sure that they feel fulfilled and doing that they're part of helping build that family and that empire?
Well, the number one thing I would say to men is to make sure you include the woman or your woman in your life. A lot of times women feel like men aren't including them, like you've got your goal and you're going to do it anyway, no matter if they help you or not. And of course that we want you to do that, but no one wants to feel like they're not included, like you're just going to do it whenever. And so what ends up happening, women ultimately want all this attention or force you to spend time with them because you're failing at including them. If you could sit down with your woman and say, what is your goals? What do you want to achieve? Where do you see us? Where do you want to go? And then y'all figure out who you are as a couple and where you want to go, and include her goals in with yours. And then you can say, okay, I'm working on this, for us. Now we'll have to make certain sacrifices. I might not be able to spend time with you here or there, but if you treat a woman with love, respect, and as an equal in the relationship,
Right.
she's not going to feel insecure and demand all this attention that you're not giving her.
Yeah, I love that. She loves that too. I am listening, babe. I'm listening. So I can't wait for that book. Thank you, Elena, so much for taking some time with your family, your beautiful daughter. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Gerard. Hi.
You know, yeah.
Yo, there's both of you there? Okay, cool.
Who?
Scarlett's coming for
Oh, okay, yeah.
Scarlett's coming.
Yeah, she's
She's gonna tickle me.
Oh dear.
Well, I love that you're also playing your role, both of you, in the Cardone legacy and empire. You have a wonderful family. I'm rooting for all of you. I'll have to follow the entire family. Elena, I look forward to eventually spending more time with you and Grant and the family. Anything I can do right now to support you in your mission and what you're building right now with 10X Ladies and all the and everything that you're launching right now, I would love to support in any way. So where can our community of Leaders Create Leaders get more involved in what you're building?
They can go to my website, elenacardone.com, and pretty much everything is there. My blog, my newsletter, my links to the 10X Ladies Network, or my online university, or my mastermind. So just go to elenacardone.com, and then we can build the group. But if any ladies are on right now, I'd love for you to join 10xladies.com/network and be in the Wednesday group.
Okay, I love it. I'm going to pin it, 10xladies.com/network.
Yes.
Got it. Sweet. Well,
Thank
enjoy
you.
the rest of your day. I look forward to the new book and everything else, and we'll continue to support you. I know Ashley will as well. God bless, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Thank you. See you later.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, thank you so much for taking some time. Again, we've had some powerful lives. I know Grant, I just emailed his assistant, Raquel. He was on I believe season 2 of Leaders Create Leaders. So I want to bring him back on and hear his side. But it's such an honor to kind of speak to his wife. We don't, we really don't get to a lot of times hear from, the queen in the empire, right? So that was really, really dope. I'm going to have to rewatch this. So definitely share this, rewatch this, go follow Scarlett, Sabrina, Elena, Grant. Make sure you're following the Cardone family. I don't care what you say. It is so inspiring to see how they are working together as a family to build their empire. I don't care what you can say about because I know sometimes people say things about Grant's brand. He is a freaking rock star, building an empire, going out there, leading, building the 10X movement like no other leader brand that I see out there. Like, I mean, he's filling up stadiums. It's remarkable. And I think, honestly, it's probably because he has a freaking unbelievable teammate, Elena. He has a queen that's supporting him. And that just goes to show he built his real estate portfolio to over $1 billion and house. It's not a coincidence that he has a queen that's been with him for over 15 years, supporting him, pushing him, challenging him, and holding down the fort and holding down the family. So that's something that, I 100% want in my life. I know, even just from a business perspective, like I don't have my wife yet, my kids yet, but I can honestly say that I owe a majority of my success because of the women that have been in my life. Elite Daily, I built that to 80 million people per month, right? A $50 million company. My editor-in-chief, I owe so much to her. All the women that were part of the Elite Daily culture and team, like they were the backbone of Elite Daily, like all my businesses. So it's just, that's something that I genuinely respect so much. All the women out there. So shout out to all my boss babes. One of my clients, they have the company called Boss Babe, the largest ambitious community for women around the world. Definitely check out Boss Babe. And, I look forward. I have so many conscious women that are these boss babes and powerful, CEOs and women that are building out their empires that are part of our mastermind. And I love it. I feel like there's such a beautiful aspect of the masculine and feminine. And when those two come together and work together, the masculine and the feminine, the masculine with the structure and the logic, right? And the hunter. And then you have the women that are the creators, their creativity, the nurturers. You put those two together and it's a game changer. There's nothing you cannot do to unlock abundance and prosperity in your life. So, it's been absolutely fire to have her on. Shout out to Evan Carmichael. I see you on here, bro. We got to do a live with you as well. So I would love to set one up with you. And let's see. Does anybody want to jump on live and chop it up before I hop off? Let's see here. Let's see. Does anybody want to jump on? Let's see. Does anybody want to jump on the live? Let me know, and then we'll jump on. Before I jump off here, let's see. We got Ken. Ken sent a request. Let's see what Ken thinks about this. Yo, are you on a plane?
How are you doing, my friend?
Service isn't that good. You there?
Yeah, I got you. I don't know if you hear me or not.
the service isn't that great, but it's pretty cool that you're on the plane, bro. Where are you headed? We're losing him. We're losing Ken. He's traveling right now, man. He's making me jealous. I want to be traveling right now. But guys, I'm going to hop off. It was an honor to have you guys on. Make sure to go follow Elena and Grant. Shout out to Elena for jumping on. We have more live streams every single day. So pay attention to my Insta story. If this was valuable to you, definitely leave me a comment. And until next time, guys, leaders create leaders. Remember, be the leader. Peace.